The Forgotten Friendship. Once upon a time, in a small town surrounded by hills, there were four best friends named Sarah, Jake, Emily, and Matt. They did everything together, exploring the woods, riding bikes, and sharing secrets. But as they grew up, they drifted apart. Years passed, and the friends became distant. Then one day, Sarah got a letter from Emily, a friend she hadn't heard from in years. Emily asked Sarah to return to their hometown and meet at an old abandoned house they used to hang out in as kids. Sarah felt surprised and nervous, but she decided to go. As she traveled back to her hometown, memories flooded back to her of fun times with her friends. But when she reached the abandoned house, it seemed eerie and scary. Despite her fear, Sarah entered the house. It was dark and smelled old, but she explored it anyway, hoping to find her friends. But they were nowhere to be seen. As Sarah searched, she heard a faint noise coming from the basement, a whimpering sound. She followed it and found her friends tied up and scared. Sarah quickly freed them and asked what happened, but they were too scared to talk. They left the basement together, feeling relieved but also afraid of whatever danger lurked in the shadows. They sat together in the main room, trying to make sense of what had happened. Emily finally spoke up, saying they had all received strange letters inviting them to the abandoned house. They had all agreed to meet there, thinking it was just a joke. But when they arrived, they found themselves trapped by someone or something. They had been tied up and left in the basement, with no idea why or who had done it. Sarah felt a sense of dread wash over her as she listened to Emily's story. It was clear that they were in danger, and they needed to find a way out before it was too late. They decided to search the house for clues, hoping to find something that would lead them to their captor. They split up, each taking a different floor of the house and searching every room. As Sarah explored the upper floors, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The old house seemed to creak and groan around her, as if it were alive with some malevolent force. Suddenly, she heard a noise coming from one of the bedrooms. Heart-pounding, she cautiously approached the door and pushed it open. Inside, she found a dusty old diary lying on the floor. Curious, she picked it up and began to read. The diary belonged to a girl named Lily who had lived in the house many years ago. As Sarah read, she learned that Lily had been tormented by strange occurrences in the house, whispers in the night, objects moving on their own, and even sightings of ghostly figures. Sarah's blood ran cold as she realized that they were not alone in the house. The spirits of the past were still lingering, trapped in the abandoned house and seeking revenge on anyone who dared to trespass. Determined to escape, Sarah gathered her friends and showed them the diary. Together, they pieced together the story of Lily and the hauntings that had plagued the house for years. Armed with this knowledge, they set out to find a way to break the curse and free themselves from the clutches of the vengeful spirits. It wouldn't be easy, but they knew they had to try. As they searched for clues, they encountered more strange occurrences, doors slamming shut on their own, cold spots in the air, and the feeling of being watched wherever they went. But they pressed on, determined to uncover the truth and put an end to the haunting once and for all. And as they delved deeper into the mysteries of the abandoned house, they realized that their friendship would be their greatest strength in the face of unimaginable evil.